together once again, even to learn at your feet. Father, we bless you for the opportunities, for the trainings we've had, and indeed for the great knowledge that's been shared across. Lord, we commit today's session into your hands. Lord, I ask that you speak through our speaker today and indeed touch the hearts and minds of our sisters so that they'll leave here better than when they came. And Father, Lord, we pray your blessings upon the speaker, we pray your utterance, and indeed may your word flow through. Thank you, everlasting God and Father, because we believe that today's session is in your hands and it's amazing. Thank you, Lord. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Back to
Thank you so much, sis. So today we have an amazing TOCI sister speaking to us, and I'll be reading her bio shortly. One thing I love about TOCI is that we have a lot of intelligent and amazing ladies in our midst. Who else agrees with me? Ladies that are calling the shots. Yes, ladies that are calling the shots, who are leading the pack. Powerhouses, that's the word. So let's talk about our guest speaker today. Our speaker is Sister Dara. Dara is a seasoned human resource professional with over a decade of experience, currently serving as an HR manager at a leading global FMCG company in the UK. She's certified and also a member of the Chartered Institute of Personnel and Development, CIPD, a professional body for HR and people development, championing better work and working lives. She holds an MBA from the University of Liverpool and a bachelor's degree in food science and technology, bringing a unique blend of business acumen and industry-specific knowledge to her role. I told you. Her expertise spans talent acquisition, employee development, organizational leadership, change management, employee law, HRIS and HR compliance, while creating people-centric work environments that drive business success. Her career is marked by a strong commitment to fostering positive company culture and enhancing employee engagement. In addition to her corporate role, she's an entrepreneur who channels her passion for cooking into a thriving catering business. Talk about a powerhouse. She's a powerhouse at work, and then she has something she does by the side that is thriving. As the founder of Deli D Catering, she specializes in delivering exceptional culinary experiences to clients, blending her creative flair with a meticulous attention to detail and tailored meals for those with dietary requirements. A devoted wife and mother, Dara balances her professional and entrepreneurial endeavors with her personal life. As a committed Christian, she actively serves in her local church through various ministries, including women's ministries and kingdom advancement projects. Her deep faith guides her approach to leadership, family, and community service. Whether in the boardroom, the kitchen, or her faith community, Dara is dedicated to uplifting others and contributing to meaningful growth and success. Ladies, what are we waiting for? At this point, I want you to begin to drop your clapping and fire emojis in the comment section, please, to welcome our beautiful, amazing, intelligent powerhouse of a sister, Sister Dara. Please put your hands together for her. Thank you, thank you. You're welcome. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sis. Thank you, everyone, and thank you for having me today. As you were reading my profile, I was also thinking, now maybe this. Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. How are we all doing? How are we all doing? Well. Good. I'm going to share my screen. Let's see.
Please go ahead.
What can you see?
We can see your slide.
Is it showing in presentation mode in full?
Yes.
Yes.
Presentation mode. Okay, fantastic. Thank you.
Oh, but we can also see your next slide.
That's not the one I want you to say.
Yes, so you need to change it.
How about now?
It's yet to show.
What can you say?
Just a minute.
Okay.
Yes. Now we're seeing the right one.
You're saying the right one now. Okay.
Yes,
All right. Thank
please.
you. So today I was given this topic by our fantastic education team, navigating the world of work in the UK. It's a lot, but for us to have a structure, I'm going to jump past I can hear myself. I'm going to jump past my profile. It's being read. Just for us to have a structure this evening, we are going to talk through these points: the UK job market, understanding the work culture here in the UK, employment law, because UK is a heavily legalized country compared to where we are all coming from, which is Nigeria, right? So our rights as an employee in the UK, because it's a legalized country, we have rights. You have rights wherever you are working. And something also called protected characteristics. I will go through it. Career development in the UK, balancing benefits, because it is not always about salary. There are things we need to look out for, especially depending on our season, our circumstances, and just balancing both intrinsic and extrinsic benefits in making an informed decision, especially when we have multiple offers. What should I look out for? Next one is challenges for international workers. I've been there before. I schooled here over 15 years ago, but I knew what I faced. I've been in the working, I've been here working for over 15 years, and I know what people of color, people that looks like me, what they face in the working environment, and I will share a bit. If anybody have questions, please feel free to probably drop in the chat, or I don't know whether we can also keep some to the end. But if there's anything that comes up in your mind, please feel free to drop it in the chat box, or yeah. Then the last one will be future job trends. We all have, a lot of people have degrees, we have qualification, but the way the world is going now, we can't just stop there. I had a BSc, I had an MBA, I had plans of where I wanted to work, but God also had plans of where He wanted me to be, isn't it? I've been in the HR field for years, but HR is also getting dynamic, yeah? And we are having AI, machine learning. I had to add HRIS to my, to my professional qualification, which is HR systems. All right. So we also need to look at future job trends. We can't just stay there on whatever qualification we have. UK job market overview, just a quick one. There are so many sectors where we can apply to here in the UK. I've listed a few. This is not all, but I'm just showing a few. There's the finance sector. And the finance sector doesn't mean the people working there they have finance qualifications. There are some skills that you will have that will benefit that sector. They do projects in the finance sector. They need lawyers in the finance sector. They need administrators in the finance sector. There's healthcare. This one is huge in the UK. And it's not only people with medical qualifications or nurses that works in healthcare. There's technology, education, huge. And there's also even the visa stream for not just healthcare, but also education. The ones I underlined there are areas that I feel maybe people are aware, but they are not making use of it as much. The manufacturing and retail, especially consumer goods. Consumer goods are things people consume. As much as, we live, we must eat, isn't it? And there are loads of manufacturing companies in the UK. There are loads of retail stores in the UK. And we don't have to work on the shop floor. There are loads of opportunities in the back office. Our skills and services are needed in manufacturing. There's also the creative industry. We don't have to be the one, in the forefront, but those creative industries needs our services. They need our skills. And these are sectors at times that I feel people are not tapping into loads of the juices there. Some people will say, because I'm in IT, I want to work with Facebook and Google and the likes. Not everybody is going to work with Google and Amazon. There are diverse sectors with loads of opportunities where people can work in the UK. And I want us to be open-minded, as we get into UK to tap into these different sectors. Trends, we know the way the world is going, Amazon cut jobs because robots are now sorting letters in the warehouses, and they don't cut it by 200, they cut it by thousands. So there's an emphasis now also on digital skills. I'm in HR, but I don't stop with where I am. I've added systems to my knowledge so that wherever I'm going to, even though I'm CIPD qualified, they know that the knowledge is there, but there's also an add-on to me. I can manage HR systems. I can lead the team on HR systems. I understand payroll. I understand benefits management. And I understand, so it's beyond HR management and my professionalism because of the way things are going, with emphasis on things going digital. We must also try as much as possible to see the things we can also do regarding our skills. The next one also is be flexible, and flexibility that are available within the job sector in the UK due to pandemic. Sometimes I look at it, when I'm going to work, I sometimes wonder that how were we doing it before COVID, that people were able to go to the office 5 times. It seems like something that people cannot even manage, going into the office 5 times a day. Some people still do it because of the nature of their job, but there are loads of people that are now benefiting from, the flexibilities that comes with pandemic. And depending on our situation, let's also look out for things like that. There are loads of opportunity for part-time jobs in the UK, loads. You can, if you want to do 20 hours, even though your visa doesn't have the restriction, or just because of your personal circumstances, there are loads of such opportunities that are available. There are a few things I highlighted and I wanted to talk about it. Because of the surge of immigrants also in the UK, the police force, they look for Nigerians that can speak, that are duolingual. Years ago, when they are looking for people that can speak multiple languages, they will say things like, oh, they want people that can speak French and Spanish. But now they want people that can speak Yoruba and Igbo. So it's an advantage on the CV of anybody coming from Nigeria, and you are Yoruba or Igbo, because of the surge of immigrants and crime rates and loads of issues that are happening in the UK. They look for police that can speak not only English, but also Nigerian local languages. I've talked about the AI machine learning, and there are also non-location specific jobs. Not everybody works in London. Yeah, even though there is the, London, the wages that apply to living in London, it's called London living wage, which is usually higher. Rate of pay of people that works in London is usually higher than outside of London. However, there's also cost attached to it, which is transport. So there are no location specific jobs or remote jobs. All right. The last one there that I want to talk about is handymen, and I put women. This field, and the guys and women in this field, they make loads of money, loads. And when I'm talking about handy job, I talk about people that come to your house to help you paint, people that that work in shops where they fix shoes. We call them obioma in Nigeria, but there's a way it's been done very well and systematically put in a way that it's not a job that people do that you look down on them, because UK is a legalized country. Everybody doing that job can never be paid lower than the minimum wage. Yeah. And there's also a visa stream for people with these skills. Yes, there's tech visa, but there's visa for people that are into carpentry. I don't know whether people are aware. So there are loads of opportunities in the UK. Another thing we also need to look at is the economic challenges, the impact of Brexit. Post-Brexit, there were some companies that, they never came out of administration. There's also the impact of inflation, and that's why we need to stay abreast of what is happening in the economy or in the country. It's not only in Nigeria that there are issues. There are issues also inside here in the UK, and that's why we need to ask questions. Look at where you are. If you think that there's something happening in the economy and I think I might be affected here, then you need to start looking out. There are also evolving immigration policies that could affect, your work, our work, and we also need to look at that. So I'll just leave that there and move to the next slide. All right. Job search strategies. For us to get a job, we need to look for it, isn't it? There are loads of ways that, we can go about this. The first one there is online job portals, all right? That's the popular LinkedIn, Indeed, Reed, Glassdoor, Google Jobs, Total Jobs, or even CV Library. There are also sector-specific platforms, especially for, let's say, for example, you are into the techie side of things. There are websites like Tech Nation for tech jobs, and there is NHS. NHS is not only for people that are in the medical field. You can get admin job in NHS. You can get HR jobs in NHS. You can get legal jobs, company secretary, loads. So there is NHS and it's healthcare doesn't mean, it's only nurses and doctors they need. No. Your services can be needed, your skills can be needed in NHS, even though you are not a medic. The next one is recruitment agencies. In the UK, there are loads of agencies. You don't pay for them. You register with these agencies and they look for job on your behalf. You are not the one that will pay for them. They will take their cut when they put you in employment with a company. We also have specialized agencies like HRIS. HRIS is very good with admin, with HR, and also a bit of finance. There's Nature Rights. If you are into agric, if you are into retail, marketing, Nature Rights is very good, or even sales. The benefits of using recruitment agencies is they usually have access to hidden jobs. Let's say, for example, I'm recruiting for roles in my company. At times, I don't want to put them on LinkedIn. I send it to specialized agencies for them to look for people for me. What that does for me is they take away the admin of me sifting through CVs and trying to match, the skills, the profile, or the first stage interviews. The recruitment agencies would do all this for me. I would have signed, we'll have an agreement of how much I'm going to pay them based on, it could be a percentage, it could be fixed. The benefits of recruitment agencies to employees, to us, to an individual that is looking for a job is the job you cannot see, they will send it to you. They will also support you with CVs. Because those recruitment agencies would have had like a pre-session with my company, I will tell them exactly what I'm looking for. I will tell them the skills I need, and I will give them a pay package. Most of the time, recruitment agencies get paid on a percentage of the salary the employee will earn. So they will pitch and tell you also that, this is the salary you should also ask for. Don't sell yourself for less. They also help you to prepare for interview. They can support you with CV. They will tell you to send a Word copy of your CV and amend it. They will amend those things to suit, how the job profile looks like. And you don't pay for them. You don't pay for all these things. So it can be good for you to register with agencies. You can also find a few of local agencies in your local cities, city centers. Walk in and register with them. The next one on job strategy is networking. networking is powerful. Yeah. LinkedIn and also attending industry events. I'm still a member of CIPD and I pay for my membership because of things like this, because of the caliber of people I'm able to meet during networking sessions. And I get to attend, industry-led webinars. If things are happening in the country, or let's say the Prime Minister is coming out with some new laws, or they are discussing some laws, I get sent these things before they are passed out through CIPD. And that's the power of networking sometimes. And you can also join your relevant associations, For engineers, they have their thing. For people in project management, there are various, networking associations or communities you can join. Also here in the UK, there are some communities that they help each other. I'll use Indians as an example. They've got a community and they help each other. Unfortunately, thank God for sisterhood, isn't it? Nigerian communities are not so strong here, but there are people from the same nationality like Indians. They assist and help each other. Indians do not mind their cousins, their friends, or people from their same countries doing working in the same company with them. But for some reasons, we Nigerians, we don't assist each other with things like that, which is, it's not so cool, but we thank God for sisterhood. And I know that we in TOC here, we are not like that. I can't see the chats. If there's any question for me, please call my attention to it. The last one on job search strategies is job fairs and events. If any one of us comes to the UK for, let's say, master's or PhD or another degree, please make use of the job fairs and the job events the schools usually organizes. Please make use of it, all right? I'll move to the next slide. Crafting the CV and cover letter. I'm not going to spend much time on this. There was a session that we had on TOCI earlier in the year, and it was really powerful. I want us to go and listen to it. It was really powerful, but I'll highlight just 3 things on crafting a CV and cover letter. Like I said, if you register with a recruitment agency, they will help you with it. But there are also, job sites that I mentioned before where you can apply to jobs. You need to tailor your CVs to job descriptions. So let's say you are applying for 10 jobs. Dara, do I need to change my CVs 10 times? You might have to do that. Just amend and make sure that you are using the keywords from the job, the job profile, what was posted. Try and use those words and update your CV with it. All right? On key sections, we start with our personal details. There is something with our names. Yeah, my name is Dara, but I don't put that on my CV. And there's a reason why, some people have argued that Dara, if they can call Kwaskaskowski in the UK, why can't they call Oluwarotimi Siriri? But let's not go into that argument, just shorten it. If you are, I don't know, if you can give me an example, try and shorten your name. If you are Ayo Kunle, put Ayo. They will be able to call Ayo or Ayo. If you are Timitokwe, they can call you Top or Tope. Don't put everything, because a lot of British people here, they are not confrontational, and they might get uncomfortable if they don't get to pronounce your name right. If they are uncomfortable with from the beginning of your CV, it can sometimes put you at a disadvantage. So our names, let's keep it short. Yeah, there must be a professional summary, your work experience, education. You don't have to put primary school. You don't have to put full details of your SSC. You can put it there that our SSC is equivalent to the GCSE here. You can just shorten it, but you get to a level in your work experience and in your years of experience that those secondary school, highlights might not be, it won't be needed. All right. The last one here is cover letter. If you can, not everybody uses it. If you can, please do it. Just 1 page, personalized to the role. So for this one, you might also have to tweak it every time. I've seen situations where the candidate's CV did not really sell them. but they sold themselves to the company through the cover letter they wrote. All right? So we can make use of that as well. Understanding UK work culture. This one is a very interesting one, especially because of, we are coming from Africa, and not just Africa, we are coming from Nigeria. And British will always be British, all right? The first thing I want to talk about here is work-life balance. There is work in the UK. As of yesterday, there are over 1 million vacancies. So there is work. And what I'm getting to see for my people that are relocating to the UK is all sorts of illnesses because of stress. When we get that work, please let's try as much as possible to achieve a balance, all right? I've seen people in their 20s with very high blood pressure that they are trying to manage. Not everything is village people. It is stress, yeah? So as much as possible, let's try to achieve, emphasis on work-life balance. If there's flexibility most of the time comes with jobs. They might not even put everything explicitly in the advert. But when you get in, ask for their policies, see where their policies are, and read through it. Perhaps you might be able to. Hello? Perhaps you might be able to do some work, maybe 2 days or 1 day in the office, and the other days at home, or you do a late start or a late finish, so that at the same time you are able to take the kids to school, you go to work, and somebody else will help you pick the kids from school. It's part of the flexibility, all right? In terms of hierarchy, in the UK, yes, there's CEO, there's leadership team, but communication is usually, it looks like a flat structure, but it's not. It's most of the time it could be matrix, but in terms of communication, it's flat. Your CEO can walk up to you or walk to your floor. Some offices are open plan, not in cubicles like things used to be in Nigeria. And in terms of communication, there's something I'm going to talk about here. British, there's a high tendency of gossips here in the UK, and we need to be very careful. All right, you might be pushed to join in, but when those gists start, just you can nod your head or don't have any input. Possibility of gossips is very high. People gossip a lot in the office. Office environment, everyone is typically very friendly, but please always remember the rule of professionalism at work. Not everybody is your friend, all right? And I will leave it at that. Not everybody is your friend. Maybe after the session, if we stop recording and anybody have questions, I might be able to say some things more, all right? Formality also varies by industry, but most 98% of the time, the attire to the office is business casual. But when they say business casual, that doesn't mean we wear, open foot to the office. Yeah, people rarely wear ties and all that, except, the office calls for it. Even people in the banks, they might wear suits and all that, but without the tie, it's usually business casual. Punctuality and professionalism. I've mentioned some bits about professionalism, but in terms of punctuality, please let's try as much as possible to arrive on time. If our start time is 9, even if you don't clock in, please arrive on time. People might not talk, but trust me, a lot of people are watching. The next one is focus on deadlines. If there are timelines for reviews, please focus on it and follow through. If there are timelines on or deadlines on anything you need to feedback on, let's focus on it, all right? If for any reason you are going to be late, or you are sick, or is even due to childcare, follow the company policy. Report the absent following policy, not, sending text message to your supervisor, And that was what I was saying, that your colleagues are not your friend. Your manager is not your friend, even if the person appears friendly, because the work culture is like that. Everybody is friendly. Everybody appears and looks friendly. But as much as possible, still remember that professionalism. Yeah. Most of the company culture in the UK, they are underpinned by values. So you can also have a look at the company values and you see the reason why they do some things the way they do it. And you try to either align, you can also check before you enter such companies to see whether will that align with this kind of company value, because that's what will drive their culture. All right. The next thing is about company policies. People don't read them, but they exist. When you get to any company, please read through their policies. Please read through their policies. There is a cheat code I'm going to give everyone here, and it's free. You can write it down if you live in the UK. For anything you need on how to do it, or if you enter any sort of fix, check it on ACAS. You can write, maybe you have, I don't know, I have issues with my manager /ACAS on Google. ACAS will give you a guideline, because in the UK, for any procedure or policies we put out, it must never be below what ACAS advises. Yeah. Before second to the last there is, in the UK, there is a lot of focus on experience over qualifications. So you see a lot of us, we have BSc, then we have masters. But when we get here, the people that we are reporting to, they might only have GCSE qualification, but they've got experience. All right. So we need to be mindful of that. There is a very, the culture of the country is in such a way that there is more emphasis on experience over qualification. Gone are the days in Nigeria where when anybody fly abroad, and I can remember my time, and anybody comes abroad and they have a BSc in the UK or US and they come back to Nigeria like this, no matter the number of years of experience you have, whoever has, those huge, big qualifications, they automatically promote them. But it's not like that in the UK. Now, you work with so many colleagues that they don't have a university degree. Yeah, and they are managers. I can remember when I was working with a company called Stenhoff Retail. Stenhoff is the owner of Poundland, Harvey's, and Benson for Beds. The CEO at that time, when I was with the company, started with pushing, those people that push trolley in shops. When you shop and you leave your trolleys around the car park, that was how he started. And he stayed with the company for over 40 years. And he became the CEO. I can remember Stanika also posted the incoming CEO of Nike, isn't it? If you check people like that, look at when they started working. They wouldn't have degrees, but guess what? They had experience. And when you stay long enough in some companies, the business will train you. They will send you on trainings. You'll be able to attend webinars and all sorts of. When you get to that leadership level, even when you don't have qualification, the business will send you on trainings. They will support you. So there is a lot of emphasis on experience here in the UK over qualification. And the last one I wanted to say here is knowing your season. Know your season. Depending on your personal circumstances, you might not be able to do a lot of hours, probably because you have young kids. The time will come when you'll be able to do a lot of hours, or see how you are able to balance things. Also look at things that come to you without you asking. It could be a pointer, right? It could be a pointer. I can remember I want to share a little thing here. When I finished my MBA, over 15 years ago, 14 years ago at the University of Liverpool. I wanted a very cool and befitting job, but while I was applying, I registered with an agency called Mighty, MITIE. I think they are still in existence till now. And they sent me to an office called Government Office of the Northwest in Liverpool. So the office was in charge of the whole of the Northwest of England. Guess what? It was as a cleaner. And they asked me that, am I able to do it? that it was even, I think it was less than 20 hours. I wanted a job. I was still applying. They knew they had my CV. They knew I had MBA. They knew I had BSc. But I said, yes, that's fine. So I did that. It was in the mornings. And after a while, they told me that, oh, in that office, they actually needed somebody that could fill in as a receptionist. And they knew that I'm a cleaner, but at the same time, I'm overqualified, that's how they say it. But they don't mind because they know that I can do the job. So they put me there in the mornings. Then one day, the same mighty people called me that they found a night, if I found a 9 to 5, I said no. They got me jobs with Liverpool FC and Everton. Both stadiums, they back each other. And I work at the executive lounge with, the chairman and owners of the club. But around the time, I didn't say no to these jobs. I was just doing them until I could get a 9 to 5. Then one day, the same mighty recruitment agency called me that, am I still looking for a job? Have I found a 9 to 5, the office job I'm looking for? I said no. They said there is a temporary kitchen support somewhere close to where I was living in Anfield that is a walking distance. Am I able to do it for just a few weeks? Oh, I said yes. And it was a few hours, kitchen support. I even thought I was going to be serving food, but that wasn't it. So I was going to be assisting the chef in the kitchen for a few hours until lunch. After lunch, I leave. So I was juggling all these things. But in this company that they sent me to, there was a day I wanted to use the toilet. And on my way to the toilet, the corridor had a board where they put vacancies. And I saw a vacancy for executive assistance to the finance director. I'm like, okay, I just finished my MD. I looked at what they needed or what they wanted the person to do. I knew I could do it. But the only person I knew was the chef that I was working with. So I spoke with the chef, Rob. And Rob looked at me and said, oh, if you get this job, that means I will be serving you. But, we just laughed about it. And guess what? The guy helped me. He spoke to the HR people that, oh, this lady that you see here, she's actually a graduate, she's this. And that was how I joined that company, from a kitchen porter to working in the office. And that company was Nutricia. They produced Aptamil, the Aptamil milk. And that was how my professional life and working in the office, it started from there. And I kept rising from there. I didn't ask for, I didn't even know about that job, but it was because I said yes to something that naturally was demeaning, isn't it? But I didn't ask for it. It came without asking, but just let me do it until I get something befitting. The reason why I'm saying it is because of this last thing I mentioned here. Check your season. At times, you might not get that befitting job to start with because of, circumstances. But see what is coming to you without you asking. Without you asking, not what people are telling you. The things that are coming to you without you asking, maybe there could be a pointer there. All right. Do I have questions? I can't see the chats.
Well, there was one, but I kept it till the end. I have it written somewhere.
Okay. Next one is on employment laws and rights. Remember I said something about UK being a heavily legalized country. I read chats on TOCI where people say, oh, HR in Nigeria is no job. And I get it, but it's totally different in the UK because there are laws here. The first one, I will start with something, it's employment contract. It outlines duties, pay, benefits, and notice period. Most of the times, people don't read it because of that joy that comes with, yes, I now have a job, but please read your contract. Read the clauses. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer. I also have powerful colleagues on TOCI that are in the UK, that works in the UK. A few people are also into law. They will be able to answer any question. Please read your contract. There is a minimum wage in the UK and it's reviewed and increases every year. There is a minimum wage. There is no company that should pay you less than 11.44 an hour. And another thing I want to say here, I see people that come in and say, oh, I'm working somewhere and they pay me by hand, meaning they pay cash. It doesn't pay that way. No. Make sure that, the things work for establishments where things go through the system, where you can get a pay slip. All right? Most of the people that pay people by hand or cash, they are not doing the right thing. They know what they are doing. Working hours, you can do maximum of 48 to 60 hours, and I will explain why I put a slash here. Some people work night shift. By law, you shouldn't do more than 48 hours on a night shift, except you are in the medical profession, all right? And securities. During the day, you shouldn't go more than 60 hours, all right? But most white-collar jobs, which are regular office jobs, is 35 to 40 hours. But trust my people, many people will do a 35 hours job, they will take extra again. Say, let's try as much as possible to achieve balance. In your contract, you must have your annual leave entitlement. It's minimum 28 days, including BH there means bank holiday. Every year in the UK, we have 8 bank holidays. So there are some companies that do 25 days, then plus 8 bank holidays. The bank holidays will not be mentioned in your contract, but you will see there that you have an entitlement to 25 working days. That's less the bank holiday. So for such people, that means your total holiday in a year is 33 days. All right? I put an emphasis here again. Read your company policies. Inside some companies, they could put explanation on things like you cannot book more than 2 weeks at a go. You cannot carry over holidays, or probably the maximum you can carry over is 5. Just check the policies. Check the policies. Equality and diversity. I wanted to talk a bit about this. In the UK, we have what we called 9 protected characteristics by law. And this protection against discrimination based on these 9 things that are here. Yeah? And that's underpinned by an act called Equality Act 2010. Why do we have the law? So these protected characteristics are protected by the Equality Act, yeah? And it protects everyone, not just British, whether you have a permanent residence or anybody that has stepped here and is working is protected from discrimination, all right? And is to help the whole society to be equal and fair for all, to be fair for all. So what does the act say? It says people must not be discriminated against or treated unfairly because of their age, because of any sort of disability. Remember, not all disabilities are visible, all right? You must not be discriminated against gender reassignments, even if they come to the office to talk about it. People like Nigerians, when people start to talk about, oh, I want to do this surgery and all that, there are ways that people look and you just see that, things on their face. Please, as much as possible, don't do that. People, you must not be discriminated against or treated unfairly because of your race. You must not be discriminated against because of your religion, your sex, sexual orientation, because you are pregnant, or your marriage, okay? I have a video, it's a very short one that I want to play. 1 second, and it explains it much better. Give me a second, I will play the video now. Are we also following?
Yes, we are.
Okay, I'm going to share my video now. So, can you see my screen?
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you.
Does it have audio?
The audio is not playing.
No, there's no audio.
Okay, let me amend that.
While sharing, did you check the box for sharing audio as well?
I don't think I did.
Okay, so you might want to stop sharing and then start sharing again. And then you check that box before you click on the YouTube
Can you still
window.
see my screen? Or have I stopped? No.
We can still see your screen, but now we see everything.
I'll do it again.
The Equality
Yes,
Act
there's audio
2010
now.
protects us all by making it against
can
the
make it
law to
full screen.
discriminate against or harass someone because of a protected characteristic. We all have more than one of the 9 protected characteristics. Age. You must not be treated less favourably for being a particular age or within a range of ages unless the treatment can be justified. Disability. If you are disabled, the Equality Act protects you from discrimination. It also requires employers and service providers to make reasonable adjustments to address the disadvantages you might face. Disability includes long-term illnesses that affect your normal day-to-day activities. Certain conditions like cancer and multiple sclerosis are automatically classed as disabilities. Gender reassignment. You must not be discriminated against because you are transitioning or intend to transition from your sex assigned at birth. To be protected from gender reassignment discrimination, you do not need to have undergone any specific treatment or surgery. Marriage and civil partnership. You must not be discriminated against at work because you are married or in a civil partnership, whether your partner is of the same or the opposite sex. Pregnancy and maternity. The Equality Act protects women from being discriminated against because they are pregnant, including due to pregnancy-related illness or if you are a new mother. Protection from discrimination at work extends to the period of maternity leave. Outside of work, it lasts for 6 months after giving birth. Race. The Equality Act protects you from discrimination because of race. Race means your colour, your nationality, your ethnicity, or national origins. A racial group can be made up of more than one distinct racial group, such as Black British. Religion or belief. You must not be discriminated against because of your religion or belief, or because of a lack of a religion or belief. Generally, a belief should affect your life choices or the way you live for it to be included in the definition. Sex. Sex refers to being a man or a woman. You must not be discriminated against because of your sex. Sexual orientation. You must not be treated less favourably because of your sexual orientation, whether you are attracted to your own sex, the opposite sex, or to both sexes. Find out more about protected characteristics at equalityhumanrights.com.
Did we all learn a thing or two? Hi, sisters.
Yes, please.
Yes, we did.
Yes, we did.
Sorry, I'm trying to go back here. We've started again. 1 second.
Okay.
Can you see my screen?
Still waiting for it.
How about now?
Okay. Yes, we can.
Okay.
And it's the right way.
Okay, thank you. All right. So I'll
You're
move to and that's it about employment law and rights. I wanted to emphasize on those 9 protected characteristics. You are protected by law based on those 9 things. And I think that that short video explains it much more better than any way I could have explained it. If anybody still have any question or have issues at work based on any of the characteristics, please reach out. Like I said, I also have lots of, TOC assistants that are even, into the law profession that could also assist. But let's speak up, okay? Next slide. Let's see, career development in the UK. I put a caveat here. There is no one size fits all. But some things are crucial for some professions. Say, for example, techie roles, they will put the details of the exact skills they are looking for, or if they want somebody that has used an interface or that can use an interface. But for, let's say, retail role, there is no requirement for specific certification for that. All right. Sales, there is no specific certification for that. So in terms of career development, I want to start from professional training. We have apprenticeships. There are graduate schemes for anybody still in school. And there are also professional certifications that can always help depending on your profession. For me, because I'm in HR, even though I had BSc, I had MBA, I still did my CIPD. Yeah, they gave me a faster route because of my years of experience and qualification. But I find it very useful for myself. All right. So depending on your, area of career, there might be need for professional training. The next one in terms on career development is upskilling and lifelong learning. For anybody that stops learning, whatever you know starts dying. So we cannot stop learning. We can continue on platforms like Coursera, LinkedIn Learning. There are also curated YouTube videos. I put that example there so that I will not forget. Yeah. I know a lot of people that are Nigerians that are QA testers. For some reason, there was just a surge on these QA jobs about 5 years ago, and they were paying, very well. And I knew a lot of trust Nigerians, they wanted to get on that job. And I knew a lot of people that they watched YouTube videos to train themselves and they got the job. They watched YouTube. So there are still curated, YouTube videos. Sister Toyose, please go ahead.
We are supposed to actually end at 8. This is 8:01.
I didn't know.
Yes, so we need
Just
to
3 slides to
to
go.
move a little faster.
Okay,
How many more to go?
just three slides. The last slide
Okay.
is for conclusion.
Okay,
Yeah,
then we go to Q&A.
Q&A. Oh, so sorry.
All
I'll
right,
move
thank
on
you.
now. Thank you. Career development, mentorship, and coaching is also very good. So seek guidance. And the last one there is staying informed. Self-awareness and opportunity awareness. There's a lot of things that are changing in the world of work in the UK. There is tech, there is automation. Even in my HR profession, there is automation and tech that are coming in. I didn't just rest on that management. Yes, I'm in leadership, or I have MBA, I have this. I kept on learning so that I can remain relevant. All right. Should we leave that hand to the end? I can see a hand so that I can quickly rush through. Is that okay?
Yes, please just take
Yeah.
questions at the end.
At the end, yeah. Workplace benefits in the UK. Yeah. These things also should be stated in your contract. Pensions is statutory requirement. What statutory means is in Yoruba we call it ofin. You must be enrolled for pensions once you join. You must be enrolled. There is an option for you to opt out after the first month, or even if it's after the first month and maybe, I don't know, because of financial difficulty. I don't know what financial difficulties that can be, that you might want to stop your pensions. But if you want to do it, there's the possibility of going on a payment holiday. However, you will also be shortchanging yourself, because the statutory requirement for all employers in the UK says there is an employee contribution and an employer contribution. So if you opt out or stop your own contribution, you will lose your employees or employer's contribution into the pension pot as well. The next one is healthcare. So there is the free NHS, However, if your workplace offers a private healthcare, is one of the things you should also look at. So it's not only by, base salary. Look at the total compensation package. Private healthcare is gold now in the UK because of the situation of things in NHS, especially if you have young children and you get a job that part of the benefit is private healthcare. It is gold. Other benefits are, there is 52 people are pregnant women that have given birth. You are entitled to up to 52 weeks of maternity leave. Only 39 weeks out of those 32 is paid. However, there are some companies that might want to add what we call enhanced maternity pay as some form of benefits. If you are still, at that stage or age where you still want to have more children, look out for such benefits. All right. There's also paternity leave, which is 1 to 2 weeks. All these things are statutory, but companies might add benefits on it, and we call those kind of benefits enhanced. In the UK, people are entitled to sick leave. SSP means statutory sick pay. So when you are sick and you are not able to work, the government pays some sort of money to help. It's not a lot, but it's something. It's about 90, like £100 max. All right. But there are also companies that does CSP, which is company sick pay. It's also some form of benefit. So look out for things like that. There are schemes in different workplaces. Ask about it. There's cycle to work. There are other salary sacrifice schemes as well. Maybe you want to buy an electric car. There are companies that they have salary sacrifice schemes that will help you to purchase the car, and you pay, in little amounts from your gross before tax is deducted. What that helps you to do is you end up paying less tax and NI. All right. And depending on your personal circumstances, don't look at only the salary that they are willing to pay. Look at the total compensation. They are usually, intrinsic and extrinsic benefit. Try to balance it depending on your personal circumstances. I also put it there that in your contract, some company you might be eligible for bonus. You might also have companies that put out benefits like learning and development, like paid LinkedIn learning for all employees. Look out for such benefit. The reason why I'm calling this out is usually a lot. Total compensation is not just pay. It's not just base salary alone. Look at, a lot of these things if the company is willing to offer them, depending on your personal circumstances. Second to the last slide, challenges for international workers. There are a lot. The first one is the cultural adjustment. We know where we are coming from. We are coming from a temperate country. We are coming to a cold one. There are also, the common British norms, the communication styles, we talked about them, the social norms. There are things you see even on the road and your eyes will just go like this, but it's part of it. It's part of the culture here. I brought confidence there, but it's in my conclusion now, and I will talk more about it. I put this harassment here. There was a place I worked where a Black man was accused of sexual harassment. When I sat in the disciplinary meeting, I did the final one. And when I looked at it, it was just part of the cultural adjustment. The person wasn't just aware. This man was working on a manufacturing floor, and he thought, my colleague is my friend, and he was touching, when you want to call someone and you tap like this, or when you are laughing and you put your hand on the person's back and just that was it. And he was accused for sexual harassment. So we need to be aware. There's also the things about qualification. There are some qualifications that are not acceptable here. They are not accepted here, but you can convert it. All right. Understand also your visa restrictions. There's their issue of British weather. In a day, we can have 3 seasons. The weather can be very hot in the morning when you are leaving the house, and 4 hours later is really, really cold. So I would say, just don't dress for the weather. Once it's entering a cold time, just leave the house wearing your jacket. It's easier for you to unzip and have some fresh air if you are hot than for you to leave the house with, improper clothing and you are cold out there. Be aware of your entitlement. Read contracts. Check policies. Ask HR. Browse. Leverage on the network you also have on COCI. And the last one is don't compare or feel dejected because you have more qualifications than your other colleagues. That's how it is here in the UK. There is, people that have experience, they have a higher hand compared to people with qualifications. There are some areas of work that doesn't apply. Let's say, for example, you work in Google, and they need some, techie certifications. Of course, qualifications will matter. But generally, people with experience are rated more than qualification. So just work to get there. My last slide in conclusion, you need your CV, tailor it to the job. Understand the laws of the country and adapt to your workplace culture. Focus on networking. There are powerful sisters on TUCI. Use the network. We have a UK group as well. Ask for help. Let's say it depends on your field. I work in HR. I have generalized skills. I can help, but I can also help if you are in the HR profession. But I have colleagues in different, some people are in healthcare, some are lawyers. Please ask, and people will be willing to help you. My final thoughts is on confidence. And this is one place where I see a lot of my people have issues with, is also, there's also a cultural angle to it because of how we were raised. In some people's houses growing up, you are not raised to look at an elder to face. And that might have affected some people's confidence. But confidence is needed in the UK. There are people that they don't know anything, but they are so confident. And, the manager just likes them. And they are able to help them understand what they need because they are just confident. All right? So in terms of building your confidence, prepare for meetings. Prepare. Even if it's a review meeting, you think it's your managers that will ask you the question? No. Also prepare your questions for your manager. Ask, are there things you want me to start doing? Are there things I'm doing that you want me to stop? Are there things I'm doing really well that I should continue? So I call that technique start, stop, continue. Ask. And practice affirmation, positive affirmation to boost confidence. Improve body language when you are in the office, when you are walking, when you are talking. Stand up straight, your shoulder back up, smile. There are lots of plastic smiles in the UK. It's part of the culture. Some people will say, oh, I'm born to always frown. No, please smile. Smile. Speak slowly. It helps you put your thoughts together before those words comes out so that it can help, that confidence. And please make eye contact when you are speaking to people. Make eye contact. Dress well. I put that pre-money there so that I will not forget. Some people think Primark sells clothes that are not nice at all. No. Depending on where you are, please buy Primark clothes. Match very well. Nobody will know that you are wearing Primark. There are also charity shops. Charity shops, I can link them to Bend Down or second-hand clothes that are sold in Lagos or in Nigeria. If you don't want people to see you entering charity shops around your office or around where you live, take a bus or a train away, 30 minutes away, find a charity in the next city center, walk in and pick a few things, take them and wash them, dress well. You don't have to spend a lot. It also helps to boost confidence. It attracts people to you and develop yourself, stay relevant. Sometimes you might need to step out of your comfort zones. I've been invited for a webinar in the UK and it was a church and they were all Nigerians. And I mentioned this thing about stepping out of your comfort zone. I'm not saying that you'll be drinking beer on a Friday night with them. No, but if colleagues are going for lunch, please go with them. If there's an early finish on a Friday and they want to hang out till late in the night, join them and you do a few minutes, then go home. Step out of your comfort zone. There I'm not that kind of person. Let them see you. There are some things that are discussed in the bar that don't make it to the office, but they are executed in the office. You won't know when they talked about it. And the last one that I want to say, build yourself in your most holy faith. And we know what that is, isn't it? Speaking in tongues. There are some meetings you want to go to and you are afraid. Go to the bathroom for a few minutes, speak in tongues to build yourself, and go. I hope this helped a few people. Thank you so much for having me. I'm sorry for shooting above the time. I will stop sharing now so that I can take a few questions. Thank you, sisters.
All right, Sister Dara, thank you so very much. This was very, very rich.